Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is MyNBA2K17, and today, Road to the Championship has just now started. And obviously, I've already claimed my reward, but I now have Domantas Sabonis. You know, prizes really won't actually matter in this case until I get to James Harden, because I already have Kemba Walker. So yeah, that's basically, I just pretty much have to wait 28 days. And I'll get that kind of stuff for you guys. Oh my goodness. But today, we have Road to the Championship 1957. 1971. Okay, it was 1971. My bad. I had the 7 in there. 1971. Road to the Championship. The last time I got to here. And the reason why I didn't go past there is because it actually started to get hard. But let's just peep the squad for a bit. We have a so much better squad than we did last time that I feel like I can go almost all the way. Now we did though get an award. We did get Hoarder, so we just earned 500. Now we do need to draft 20 players from my favorite team, however. But one of the awards that we recently got was 2 Stephen Currys. But in my eyes, you shouldn't really have 2 of the same people. I know I did it with Porzingis, or Porzingad, many people call him. But 201, what? But anyway, I'm gonna level up him because I kind of like to have all of my guys closer together. I don't really like one guy having like 300 more offense in his playmaking. And this one, it's a bonus to his offense, but this one, it's a bonus to his defense. So we're going to improve this version, and once he gets up to level 20, obviously he's going to replace, and we'll have even more depth, but we're going to look up some legendary enhancements, abilities. Here we go. Train. 9, almost 10 levels. He's already on our squad. Like, already. No joke, he's already on our squad. None. Okay, we got a lot of stuff we can remove for our GOAT. He's now level 15 of 20 already. That's why it's super important to get all those guys in there. So now we're looking at normal cards. You know, we're not going to get rid of, obviously we're not going to get rid of our really good cards. Jerami Grant. I wonder if he's like brothers to Jerami Grant. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of noticed that my 2K and my MyNBA2K videos are doing so much better than everything else. Like, it's pretty crazy to think about. In my eyes, that's actually pretty crazy to think about how so many more people want to see this kind of content rather than the other content that I post. And I have 2 other subscribers. I have 3, because, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but when you start a channel, you're subscribed to yourself. So you always have 1 subscriber for yourself. Now, I don't know, my videos in between, you know, they're kind of, maybe we'll go up by 2. Okay, I think we actually butchered it, but that don't matter. That's not the point. Oh my goodness. This Curry is literally the best legendary I have, and even beats MVP Bob McAdoo with a plus, I believe that's like a plus 14 or plus 18 playmaking enhancement. That is some crazy stuff right there. Okay, time to do some Road to the Championship. Time to remove Jason Williams. I'm sorry, you've been very good to me, but it's time for you to go. And now we've got our new squad, with our new team, and we are going to play starting with Nate Thurmond. Obviously, last time we managed to, I'm not gonna say win, but yeah, we did actually manage to win. So we're playing against Golden State Warriors before they were a super team. And basically, during the time where the only guy they actually had that was actually decent was Will Chamberlain. That's his name. I remembered his name. Let's go. Doesn't basically matter. Doesn't really matter. We're going to win either way. Because they have nobody that can fight this squad. Devin Booker in the house. Let's get it. Yuck, yuck. Just trying to keep on pounding. We be doing everything we can to fight. I've been living in the whole wide world. But yeah, I mean, this is basically right now, we're in chill mode right now, because there's really nothing giving me any competition. So, let's go Bob McAdoo, show them what you're all about. There we go. 10 cards left, I guess. Let's go Stephen Curry. That's actually really good. 81 with offense, 67 on defense. Bro, that is some crazy stuff to think about. Curry is that good. Like, I mean, I know there's like levels kinda, you know, Kyle Lowry's on the bottom end on the... Okay, we got our best player in Kemba Walker. And one of our future players one of our future pro players in Serge Ibaka. So yeah, we actually had to delete a lot of stuff because I ran out of recording room. So that's going to become a problem later on when I have to delete the legit videos that I've made. Oh yes, the beauty of 16 picks. Just kidding, it's actually a sin. I mean, like, it's not a sin, but like, it's just so hard, you know, to have this many picks. Unless you actually have like players you need to upgrade. But like, oh, Zach LaVine. Let's go popping places, bro. Man, alright. 16 picks in the house. We could have like 20 picks every round. So I'm like already like close to refilling myself. Anything you wanna, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby, you deserve it, and I'm gonna give it to you, girl. You'll be shining so bright. Yeah, I don't know, it's when you're too lazy to actually put it in yourself. You have to rely on stuff like this in order to get your content good. Nah, it's actually because I really like have nothing to... The problem with me playing MyNBA2K17 is that there's really nothing I can talk about efficiently. You know, because I feel like as if when I play this game, I don't grasp your guys' attention and I can't keep it very well. So right now, we're just going to be talking about some NBA stuff. I haven't actually been really paying attention to the semifinals as of right now. But I'm understanding that the Spurs got pummeled by the Rockets in Game 1, and then the Spurs pummeled them in Game 2. And maybe even in Game 3. I'm not sure. I only know that the Rockets pummeled the Spurs, and then the Cavs pummeled Toronto in Game 1. But I've not been paying attention to a lot of it as of right now because my team... I mean, technically the Spurs are part of my squad because my dad was from Texas and he grew up watching San Antonio. So I kind of like, you know, like I gotta support my dad. You know, I gotta be a fan of the Spurs, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So I want to talk about right now the Gordon Hayward situation. Now this is a pretty fun topic to be talking about because Gordon Hayward, will he stay? Or will he leave? And I'm going to kind of explain to you guys why a lot of people think that he actually might stay. And the popular reason is because Utah is the only team right now that can give him a max contract. And because he's been staying with the Utah for a really long time, they can like give him like a 16 or like a 12% increase in like money or something to do with that. You know, something to do. It's kind of like that. You know, he'll make more money and he'll be extended for a guaranteed year if he stays with Utah, which, I mean, Utah, they're not quite yet a full-on title contender, but, you know, if they can beat the Clippers now, you know, you have to give them some respect if they have the ability to beat the Clippers, alright? Because the Clippers, you know, they are considered an elite team, but At least I consider them a pretty good team with Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, and Chris Paul. You know, but I honestly do not believe he's going to stay. It really depends on if he feels like, in my eyes, within the next 3 years, like, can they become a title contender in the next 3 years? Because you got the Warriors you got to beat, and on top of that, you got the Rockets, which are, you know, they have like a +4, I think, against the Jazz, and even then they barely managed to beat the Clippers, so it could have probably actually gone either way. So if they can become a title contender, which one of the really only ways they could do that is if they get themselves with a studded point guard. And I'm not dissing on George Hill. Alright, George Hill is a pretty good basketball player. But the problem with George Hill is that he's older. He's 30, maybe even 31. He's in his 30s by now. I think he's anywhere from like 29 to like 32 right now. And on top of that, he's decent. Alright, George Hill isn't anybody too special. You know, he's good, but he's not great. They need a Chris Paul on their team, a guy who can be an efficient playmaker, because what the Jazz need is an offense. You know, their defense is top, is the best defense. In my opinion, they have literally the best defense in the league. Allowing under 100 points per game. I believe they're the only team to actually do that. I know, like the Warriors have a pretty good defense when it comes to points for to points against. I know they have a very good ability to do that, but you know, it's not the Utah Jazz. They're not championship contenders yet. They're close, but they're not yet. And Gordon Hayward's a big reason for that. So for all of the Utah fans out there, losing Gordon Hayward is like losing your best player. You know? But Gordon Hayward, one of his great friends, I believe, is the coach or works for the Boston Celtics. And the Boston Celtics are on the top of the East. And if Boston can be... So it's really either depending on, does he want money or does he want a ring? Because if he moves to Boston, he has a very high chance of getting a ring. And if he goes to Boston, you know, he's probably going to be considered, you know, Boston would probably easily be able to beat the Cavaliers. Because if they can beat them without, then imagine what they could do with. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy to think about how the Celtics could be the top team with what they have. And now if Gordon Hayward comes into the mix and starts playing the same way, and if Isaiah starts playing the same way, then I wouldn't doubt their ability. I wouldn't be too surprised if they could get up to 60 wins. You know, because the East is so weak. Literally the Hawks, if they were on the East, if the Hawks were in the West, they would literally be super bad. Like, they would not win. They would probably lose more games than they win. But because they're in a struggling East, they make the playoffs constantly. So then they manage to keep a strong fan base because they're like 6th seed, I think. I think they was it 5th seed? I don't know, they were either 5th or 6th. But, you know, I'm not a Hawks fan, so... Oh my gosh, what's up with all these flaming picks, bro? I've gotten like I don't know if this is like an update now, but I've gotten a lot of players. So I want you guys to tell me, do you guys think Gordon Hayward is going to stay? Because if he stays, he's going to make more money, but he's probably not going to win a ring for another 3 to 5 years. You know, it really depends on how well the Warriors manage. It really depends on how well the Warriors manage to play. We'll just improve this career, I guess. I don't really know. So we can put him in our roster. It really depends on how well it really depends on how the Golden State, you know, if they manage to keep all their elite players. It also depends on if the Rockets, you know, if the Rockets are able to secure a lot of good players. Because if the Rockets are able to do that, then there's no way, because you know, literally the Rockets, Spurs, and the Warriors have a higher winning record than the top team in the East in Boston. So, I mean, do you guys think Gordon Hayward's going to do it for money and stay with the Jazz? Or do you think that he's going to move to Boston, take a pay cut, but get a ring, you know, but into the finals and be no longer considered an underrated player? Because he is very underrated. He's by what's his name? Mike Korzemba. He's considered the most underrated basketball player as of right now. That's just what he's considered. That's just what he's considered. Okay, well, take our picks, I guess. So that's what he's considered. He's considered that. And so yeah, that's how everything is boiling down right now for the struggling. Oh, that flash wasn't very good. But that's just a struggling squad. So we're gonna play this one more game, and I'm gonna call it an episode because I'm pretty sure I'm just boarding you guys out super hard right now. Not as much money, so we can't do as many hot streaks. That's what I did last time. I bought a ton of hot streaks. So maybe we'll be able to get some more hot streaks. I don't really know. But we're losing on Victor Oladipo over here. So tell me. Now, I believe that Gordon Hayward might stay if they have a chance of getting Chris Paul. Because I know that the Utah Jazz aren't known for picking up free agents. It just doesn't happen. You know, they tried picking up Joe Johnson, but Joe Johnson didn't go to Utah not until now that he's wasted. So, because Chris Paul's leaving, right? And obviously the Clippers aren't giving Chris Paul the ability to win. And many people say, oh, Chris Paul to the Pelicans, but the Pelicans aren't developed enough. You know, yes, they'll have DeMarcus Cousins, Anthony Davis, and Chris Paul, and all three of those players are super good players. And, you know, DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis are going to average over 20 points per game. And Chris Paul is going to become the playmaker that they need. But at the same time, where do their threes come in? The Pelicans do not have any sufficient three-point scorer. Yes, I know DeMarcus Cousins is improving his range, and I know Anthony Davis is doing the same, and I know that Chris Paul has some pretty good range, but they don't have any phenomenal three-point shooters. You know, they don't have any Eric Gordons or Kyle Korvers or Joe Ingles. You know, they need a player like that who can deliver a three-pointer when they need it, when they need him to. You know, that's just kind of how I feel about it. So, and even then, he's in the West. The Pelicans are in the West. And they're in the West. I'm almost definite they're in the West. And if I'm wrong, I need to, yeah, that'd actually be pretty embarrassing if I'm wrong, but I believe they're in the West. And so if they're in the West, then do you really think that a team like that would have the ability to beat the Warriors, Rockets, or Spurs? Yeah, they would manage to make the playoffs, but I don't think they'd be a contender with that kind of team. Because, you know, Solomon Hill is absolutely garbage. They don't have the bench that they need. You know, it's either one, they just soup up and just absolutely prepare themselves to the point where they're the Warriors and they have absolutely no bench but 4 super studs, which that could actually happen with one more player. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, so I believe that if Chris Paul speaks with the Jazz separately, and Chris Paul agrees to sign with the Jazz, I believe Gordon Hayward might just stick with the Jazz. But if that doesn't happen, which it most likely won't, that's a humongous stretch. I believe Gordon Hayward is going to go to the Celtics to try to compete for a ring, but it really depends on Gordon Hayward's tastes and how he wants to be delivered. But anyway, that's going to be all for today. I believe I've talked enough, and I will see you guys later.